Yes, it's mystery guest time, and the mystery guest is, of course, hello, Jeff Barton. This is your briefing for Friday the 7th of July. I'm in Norfolk at the moment for, wait for it, bafflingly, the Suffolk Leadership Conference, fantastic conference being held here in Norfolk. And it's been a week, I think, of being out and about. You'll know that on Tuesday there was the NEU rally. I attended it, Paul Whiteman from the NAHT attended it. Patrick Roach from the NASUWT sent his support for it. Thousands upon thousands of teachers. And as I said to them when I talked to them, thank you for being here. But frankly, you shouldn't have to be here. It shouldn't be that this industrial action, this talk of strike action, continues, and it's months and months since there have been serious negotiations and talks with government. It shouldn't be like that. What was interesting is the morning was attending that rally and saying hello to everybody there on behalf of ASCL. The afternoon was then, as a trustee of the Teaching Awards, being with Silver Award winners. Those are teachers, they're leaders, they're the unsung heroes of our schools, teaching assistants as well, all being recognised for what they do. And you take the combination of the morning, the combination of the afternoon, and what you saw was the profession in all of its sense of passion, its mission, and its sense of saying, if we're not fighting for children and young people, frankly, who is? And that was the same here with all the heads who I met yesterday, primary heads, secondary heads, some FE heads as well. And you just had to look at their faces to see how tough your job in leadership has become now. Quite extraordinary. I sometimes wonder if after 15 years of headship, if I was to return back to it, if I would seriously be able to do what you're doing now. And palpably, that sense of a recruitment crisis which is not just theoretical, but which is meaning you can't appoint, you can't retain, and you're unable to fund the amounts of money you need for the kind of courses that those young people deserve. All of that writ large. So it's been a humbling week for me, simply seeing you. And you know, we shouldn't be asking you to spend all this time motivating other people to fill in their ballot papers if they have lost them, etc. But that's what this is all about. That ballot is going extremely well, and just wanted to thank you for all of that. We shouldn't be having to do that. We really shouldn't have to do it. Anyway, we end the week by saying thank you. I'm up early, it's 6:30. I've got to get across passport control from Norfolk into Suffolk. I'll do that in a minute. Just wanted to say thank you to Tracy though, just before we finish. Tracy's a head teacher, and she said that she and the business manager at school the other day were leaving the school site and noticed a couple of people over at the edge of the school site. She said, as I was leaving, I noticed there was someone with a metal detector and a trowel. They were digging a hole on the, wait for it, athletics track. A young chap, accompanied by a little girl, said he'd been in a couple of times before, but the most they'd ever managed to find was £2. And he said apologetically he always filled in the holes on the track after he'd dug. £2 was the most he'd ever found. Well, says Tracy, at least we've got another piece of evidence to submit in our next bid for funding to improve the site's perimeter fence. Even in adversity, in these tough times, what I've seen this week is the optimism, the sense of mission of all of those people who work in schools, the teaching assistants as well as the teachers, the business leaders, the head teachers, the CEOs, all of you who I've met this week. And I just wanted to say from all of us at ASCL, these are tough times. We shouldn't be having to talk about strike action in the autumn term. We should be focusing on what we've all got in common. Children, young people, the optimism of working with them, properly funded education system, teachers paid fairly so that we can recruit them and retain them. That's the mission, and we'll be back next week to continue it.